Y'all in Texas, picture this. You've just hopped a flight from Dallas to Houston, clutching a carefully wrapped gift, heart buzzing with excitement for your mom's 60th birthday party. You've planned this for a month, skipped big work meetings, all to be there for this milestone. But as you stand at the door of a fancy lakeside restaurant, lights twinkling off the water, your dad, the man you thought would throw his arms around you, looks at you like you're a stranger. He says, cold as ice, "You're not on the guest list." Bam. One sentence and your world crumbles. Your heart shatters, the gift in your hands suddenly heavy as lead. You're left standing there, surrounded by strangers, feeling like your whole family's turned their back on you. I'm Emily Carter, and that's my story. I flew 1,200 miles from San Francisco to Seattle, only to be rejected by my own dad at my mom's birthday party. Sounds like a Reddit thread blowing up on r/am the asshole, right? But this ain't fiction. It's real, and it hurts worse than any drama you've read. I thought my family was the kind you see in perfect Instagram pics. Big smiles, warm hugs. But that day, I learned a brutal truth. Sometimes, the people you love most can wound you the deepest. Let's be real, y'all. Who's felt pushed out by their own family? Maybe a reunion you weren't invited to, or giving your all and still being told you're not good enough. If you've been there, hit that like button now and drop your story in the comments. I want to hear it. Cause standing outside that restaurant, I wasn't just get rejected, I got stripped of belonging. But this ain't the end. Oh no, this story gets wilder. Did I get into the party? Did my mom find out the truth? Let's dive in, cause this family drama is about to explode hotter than a Netflix cliffhanger. / yo, Texas crew, I just dropped the bombshell about my heart shattering outside that Seattle restaurant, blocked by my own dad like I was some gatecrasher. But before we dive deeper into this r/am I the asshole level family drama, let me give you the lowdown on who I am and why that moment hit like a sucker punch. I'm Emily Carter, 34, living in San Francisco, where a coffee costs enough to make you consider selling a kidney. I'm the operations director at Apex Innovations, a big tech firm, wrangling 200 people and a budget that could buy a small Texas town. Sounds flashy, right? But don't peg me as some snooty city slicker. I grew up in suburban Portland, Oregon, in a house where the family photos always told a story. My sister Lauren was the high school star, my brother Noah was the pampered prince, and me? Well, I was just Emily, the middle kid forever stuck in the middle. As a kid, I thought my family was straight out of a Hallmark flick, full of laughs and warm hugs. My mom, Susan, always made me feel special. She'd spend hours crafting paper hats with me when I wasn't invited to a classmate's birthday, or drive 300 miles to take me to a musical when my friends bailed on my birthday plans. But things shifted when I left Portland for college in LA. My dad, James, never forgave me for ditching the family. "Why go so far? We're not good enough for you." That's what he said. From then on, the distance wasn't just 1,000 miles on a map. It was fewer calls, colder stares at holidays. I tried, called, sent gifts, invited them to San Francisco. But to them, I was always the daughter, too busy to care. So when I saw Lauren's Instagram post about mom's 60th birthday party, with my name nowhere on the guest list, I thought, gotta be a mistake, right? But deep down, I knew something was off. Y'all, ever feel like your family's rewriting your story? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Cause this tale's about to go from low-key drama to a full-on emotional explosion. / so, I've told y'all about that gut-wrenching moment outside the Seattle restaurant. My heart breaking when my dad said I wasn't invited to my mom's 60th birthday party. But before we dive deeper into this family drama, stuff that'd make an r/relationships thread bow down, let me share the moment I realized this wasn't just some silly mix-up. I'm in my San Francisco office, the glow of my computer screen lighting up my face at midnight. Yep, I'm that work late while the world's chilling with Netflix type. While scrolling Instagram to decompress, I stumble on a post from my sister, Lauren. It's a dazzling pic of my mom, Susan, with a caption, "Getting ready for mom's 60th birthday party. Whole family's coming together." I scroll to the guest list. There's Uncle Tom with his vintage Mustang, Aunt Jenny from Florida, even mom's old neighbor. But my name? Nowhere. My heart stops. This isn't an oversight. This is deliberate exclusion. I grab my phone, hands shaking, and call Mom. "Emily, you okay?" She says, surprised, like I'm just ringing to chat about the weather. "Mom, I saw the post about your birthday party on Instagram," I say, keeping my voice steady. "Why wasn't I invited?" A silence so thick it chokes me. Then she replies, voice soft, Lauren said you were swamped with that big work project. I cut her off. Mom, I said I'd come. I told you last week. But she just repeats, like she's programmed. Lauren said you weren't free. That's when it hit me. This is a mom's fault. Someone or something is pulling the strings in this family. Y'all, ever realize your family's living a warped version of who you are? A version you don't even recognize? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause in that moment, after hanging up, I made up my mind. I'm flying 1,200 miles to Seattle to face the truth and flip this script. But do I get into the party? Or does this drama get even wilder? Let's find out. // okay? Y'all, I just spilled about that jaw-dropping moment when I found out I was cut from my mom's birthday party via an Instagram post, and the call with my mom made me realize something was seriously off. But to help you get why this drama stabbed so deep, let me rewind to my childhood days in suburban Portland, Oregon. Back then, I thought my family was magazine cover material, big smiles, a house full of laughter. But if you zoomed in on those family photos, you'd see a different story. My sister, Lauren, was always center stage, clutching trophies from academic competitions. My little brother, Noah, was cradled by mom, the pampered prince. And me, Emily? I was often shoved to the edge, sometimes half-cropped out of the frame. I vividly remember being 7, coming home with red eyes after not getting invited to my classmate Amy's birthday party. I felt invisible. My dad, James, just shrugged. Not everyone gets invited, Emily. That's life. But my mom, Susan, was different. She sat beside me, pulled out colored paper, and we made silly party hats together. You're special, Emily, she whispered. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. We had our own little party, just the two of us, with cookies and grape juice. That moment was a lifeline, reminding me at least one person in my family truly saw me. But even then, I sensed a quiet rivalry. Lauren was the shining star, with straight A's and gold medals. I tried hard, but no matter how much I pushed, I was just the middle kid. Not standout enough to get noticed, not young enough to be babied. Y'all, ever feel like you had to fight to be seen by your family? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause those Portland days laid the groundwork for the drama I was about to face in Seattle. Is my mom still the one who made paper hats with me? Or has my family changed forever? Let's dig deeper. // Alright, y'all. I just took you back to my childhood in Portland, where I always felt like a shadow between my sister Lauren and brother Noah, but my mom, Susan, was the one who made me believe I was special. Yet, that moment standing outside my mom's birthday party in Seattle wasn't just a shock. It was the breaking point of cracks that had been quietly growing in our family. Let me take you through the days when the bond with my mom, once my strongest tether, started to fray. When I was 16, my birthday turned into a disaster after my friends bailed last minute for a cooler girls' party. I cried all day, feeling worthless. My dad, James, just shrugged. Get used to rejection, Emily. But Mom? She did something unforgettable. She hopped in the car and drove 300 miles from Portland to Seattle to take me to a musical I adored. We dined at a fancy restaurant, Mom in a sparkly dress, treating me like I was the most important person alive. Sometimes, it's the quality of connections that matters, not the quantity, she said, and I believed her. But things shifted when I left for college in Los Angeles. My dad saw it as betrayal. Why go 1,000 miles away? Isn't this family enough? He'd snap every time I visited. Mom still called, but over time, our chats got shorter, more distant. I tried to stay close, sent Christmas gifts, invited them to San Francisco, but Mom seemed to drift away. I started wondering, is she still the woman who drove hours to see me smile? Or did someone make her think I stopped caring? Y'all, ever feel the person closest to you slipping away, and you don't know why? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause these cracks led me to the biggest drama of my life in Seattle. Will I reconnect with Mom? Or is it gone for good? Let's keep digging. // Alright, y'all, I just walked you through how my mom, Susan, was once my biggest rock until the distance between us grew after I left Portland for Los Angeles. But this family drama, straight out of an r/am I the asshole thread, didn't just fizzle with fewer phone calls. It exploded when I started building my own life, and my success became the spark for an even deeper rift. After college, I moved to San Francisco, working at Apex Innovations, a tech giant even Texans would tip their hats to. At 34, I'm the operations director, managing 200 employees and a budget big enough to buy a football field. I climbed from nothing, facing down colleagues who thought women belonged in the coffee room. But I made it, and I'm damn proud.
But my family?
They looked at my success like I'd committed a crime. Every Christmas, I sent gifts with the Apex logo, but my dad, James, just called my company, that computer place. Why not get a job closer to home? Something stable, he'd ask, as if I was wasting my life. My sister, Lauren, joined Dad's insurance firm, hailed as a queen. My brother, Noah, bumbled around as a waiter, still the golden boy in their eyes.
Me?
I got labeled the selfish daughter for daring to leave Portland, for choosing my own path. Every visit home felt like I was a stranger in the house I grew up in. Questions like, when are you getting married? When's the baby coming? Stabbed like knives, while Lauren, also single, never got grilled. I tried explaining I had friends, colleagues, a kick-ass life in San Francisco, but to them, if I wasn't living the traditional family way, I was just a failure in a pricey suit. Y'all, ever feel like your family doesn't give a damn about what you've sweated for? Drop a comment and share. Cause this disconnect pushed me to fly 1,200 miles to Seattle to face my mom's birthday party and a truth more painful than I expected. Will I get answers? Let's keep digging. // Alright y'all, I just laid out how my family saw my success as betrayal, branding me the selfish daughter, just for leaving Portland to build a life in San Francisco. But this family drama isn't just about cold stares or snide remarks at Thanksgiving dinner. It's way darker, and I only realized it standing outside that Seattle restaurant for my mom's birthday party. Let me pull back the curtain on a truth creepy enough to make even r/AITA thread shudder. My sister, Lauren, wasn't just competing with me. She was orchestrating a campaign to shove me out of the family. One time, while digging through old texts, I found a fake chat Lauren sent to Mom, edited to make it look like I called her unsupportive. I never said that, but Mom bought it, and from then on, her voice on the phone turned distant, like I'd actually turned my back on the family. Lauren didn't stop there. She told my dad, James, I said the family was holding me back. A total lie. She even fed my brother Noah some garbage about me looking down on his job, so he stopped replying to my texts. Every time I tried calling or visiting, Lauren was there, dripping poison in Mom's ear. Emily's too busy with her tech job. Don't bother her, Mom. I spent hours explaining to Mom I still cared, but Lauren's words were like venom, sinking deep into her mind. This wasn't normal sibling rivalry. It was a calculated move to make me a stranger in my own family. I felt like I was fighting a ghost, clueless on how to reclaim my place. Y'all, ever had someone twist your image in front of your loved ones? Drop your story in the comments. Cause this manipulation drove me to confront my whole family at Mom's birthday party. I knew if I didn't act, I'd lose Mom forever. But can the truth break through Lauren's web of lies? Let's keep going, cause this drama's about to explode bigger than ever. // Alright y'all, I just spilled how my sister Lauren manipulated our family, turning me into a stranger with fake texts and vicious lies. But that moment standing outside my mom's birthday party in Seattle wasn't when I gave up. It's when I decided to fight, even with my heart feeling crushed. After that call with Mom, when she echoed Lauren's line about me being too busy to show up, I knew I had to act. I couldn't let my family keep living a warped version of who I am. So, I planned like it was the biggest battle of my life, a pitch sharper than any I'd given, not to win investors, but to reclaim my place in my family. First, I picked the perfect gift for Mom, Susan. I scoured San Francisco, finally finding a vintage pearl necklace, identical to one Mom coveted from Grandma's jewelry box. I added a deluxe spa package at a resort she'd mentioned, $3,000 total. No small sum, but I wanted Mom to know I cared, even from 1,200 miles away. Next, I chose my outfit, a navy blue dress, elegant enough for Dad not to grumble, stylish enough to say I'm thriving. In my apartment, I stood before the mirror, rehearsing every line. Great to see everyone. Smiling, not overdone. Works good, but today's about Mom. Humble, no bragging. I even practiced apologizing to Lauren for our last Thanksgiving spat, though she started it. Everything was mapped out like a military strategy. But then, the night before my flight, my phone lit up with a text from Lauren. Don't make this weekend your stage. It hit like a slap, tempting me to cancel. But no way. I'd booked a first-class ticket, $2,500, and I wasn't letting Lauren win. On the Uber to the airport, I reread that text a dozen times, wondering, what's she so scared of? Y'all, ever gear up for a showdown, still shaking inside? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause as I boarded that plane to Seattle, I knew I wasn't just going to a party. I was going to reclaim the truth. But will that restaurant door open for me? Or will the drama get even darker? Let's keep diving in. // Alright, y'all. I just spilled how I prepped like a warrior for my mom's birthday party in Seattle. The pearl necklace gift, the perfect dress, the lines rehearsed in the mirror. But when I got to that lakeside restaurant, all those plans popped like soap bubbles. Imagine driving from Houston to Dallas, heart pounding with excitement, only to be stopped by your own kin. That's what happened to me. The restaurant was stunning, lights dancing on the lake like a painting, but as I reached the door, my dad, James, stood there, towering like a wall. He looked at me, no smile, just stone cold. "Emily, you're not on the guest list." Those 4 words hit like a punch to the chest, stealing my breath. I tried to stay cool, flashing a shaky smile. "Dad, there's gotta be a mix-up. I told Mom last week I'd come," but he glanced at the paper in his hand, shaking his head. "No mistake. This is a private party for people who actually care about your mom." I stood there, clutching the gift box, feeling like the whole world was staring. Then I saw Lauren, my sister, behind Dad, her lips curling into a smug smirk like she knew this was coming. She wore a pale pink dress, just like Mom's style, as if claiming real daughter status. I tried again. "Dad, I flew 1,200 miles to be here. I just want to celebrate, Mom." But he didn't budge. "You should have called ahead," he said, voice sharp as a blade. "We don't want to upset Mom on her big day." Upset? I'm her daughter. Before I could argue, Lauren stepped up, her voice dripping fake sweetness. "Oh, Emily, so sorry. Mom probably didn't want to stress you with your busy tech job." That line was like pouring gas on a fire, and I knew this wasn't an accident. It was a trap. Y'all, ever been treated like an outsider by your own family, right in front of everyone? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause in that moment, I had to choose. Walk away or fight to get into that party. This drama's about to burn hotter than a Texas football game, so let's see what happens next. // Alright, y'all. I just spilled how my dad, James, blocked me at the door of my mom's Seattle birthday party, with my sister Lauren's smug smirk rubbing salt in the wound. But this drama ain't slowing down. It's about to explode bigger than an r/am I the asshole thread dug up after 3 years. Let's jump to the moment the curtain of lies started tearing, thanks to someone I never saw coming. Ethan, Lauren's boyfriend, who, get this, works under me at Apex Innovations. As I stood there, still clutching the gift box, trying not to let my mascara run like a river, Ethan stepped out of the restaurant, looking worried. He tapped my car window, like he was scared I'd peel out and leave Seattle for good. "Emily, Miss Carter," he stammered. "We need to talk." I rolled down the window, still reeling, and asked, "Ethan, you know who I am?" He nodded, voice low but steady. "I'm in software engineering at Apex, 3rd floor. You're my boss." Holy cow, the universe sure knows how to mess with you. My sister's boyfriend, who I only knew from a few Instagram pics, is an employee at my company. But what Ethan said next floored me. What just happened wasn't random. Last night, at the party rehearsal, Lauren and your dad planned what to do if you showed up. They wanted you to feel unwelcome. It was like a bucket of ice water. This wasn't a forgotten invite or a mix-up. This was a deliberate setup to humiliate me in front of the family. Ethan kept going, eyes darting like he was worried about being caught. "Your mom, Susan, doesn't know any of this. Lauren told her you declined to come weeks ago." I gripped the steering wheel, trying not to scream. Lauren didn't just twist my words. She spun a whole fake story to make Mom think I didn't care. In that moment, it all clicked. I wasn't just fighting to get into the party. I was fighting for the truth. Who's ever uncovered a secret that flipped their world upside down? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause as Ethan headed back to the restaurant, I knew I couldn't walk away. I had to face my family, even if it meant storming in front of 60 guests and exposing everything. This drama's about to burn hotter than a Texas summer, so let's see what happens next. // Alright, y'all. I just spilled how Ethan, Lauren's boyfriend, dropped the bombshell about my sister and dad, James, plotting to ice me out of my mom's Seattle birthday party. Standing by my car, still clutching that gift box, I knew I couldn't walk away. This wasn't just a party. It was a fight for the truth, and I was ready to charge in like a game-winning play in Texas. I took a deep breath, slipped through the restaurant's side door, dodging Dad's razor-sharp glare. Inside, the place glowed with twinkling lights, 60 guests chatting and laughing, clueless about the drama about to erupt. Ethan led the way, and before I could brace myself, he spoke up, voice booming across the room. Everyone, this is Emily Carter, Susan's daughter, and my boss at Apex Innovations. The room went dead silent, like someone hit pause on Netflix. I stepped forward, heart pounding, locking eyes with Mom, Susan, at the head table, her pale purple dress shimmering. She stood, eyes lighting up. Emily, you're here. But before I could answer, Lauren rushed over, face flushed, hissing at Ethan. What are you doing? Ethan just said, the right thing. I took another breath, voice shaky but steady. Mom, I need to clear something up. I've been told I don't care about this family, that I'm too busy to show up. That's a lie. Lauren twisted everything I've said to make you think I didn't want to be here. Mom looked from Lauren to Dad, her face shifting from surprise to shock. James, is this true? She asked Dad, voice sharper than ever. Dad fumbled. We discussed it after Thanksgiving, but Mom cut him off. We discussed nothing. Emily's my daughter. Of course she's welcome. The room held its breath, the clink of wine glasses the only sound. I turned to Lauren. You made up stories that I called Mom unsupportive, that I looked down on the family. But I was just defending myself when you said I live an empty life. Lauren paled, no comeback. In that moment, I knew the truth was winning. Who's ever had to stand up to family over lies? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause this showdown ain't over. It's about to flip my whole family upside down. Let's see what happens next, 'cause this drama's hotter than a Super Bowl showdown. // Alright, y'all. I just spilled the tea on that explosive confrontation at my mom's Seattle birthday party, where I called out Lauren's lies in front of 60 guests and my mom, Susan, stood up demanding the truth. The restaurant was tense as a tightrope, and this drama is about to blow up bigger than in our /Am I the Asshole thread topping Reddit. Mom stared at Lauren, eyes like ice. Lauren, did you really say Emily didn't want to come? Lauren, for the first time ever, lost her cool. She stammered. Mom, I thought Emily was busy with work. I didn't want you disappointed. But Mom wasn't having it. Emily said she confirmed with me last week. Explain that. Mom's voice was steel, like she'd just snapped out of years of manipulation. I turned to Lauren, calm but firm. Lauren, you're jealous 'cause I left Portland and built my own life, aren't you? You spun lies to make Mom think I abandoned the family, but I never stopped trying. Lauren went pale, eyes glistening, not with regret, but panic from being exposed. Then, like she'd run out of defenses, she blurted, Fine, yes. You gotta be free, this shiny director in San Francisco, while I stayed, taking care of Mom, Dad, everything. Mom's eyes light up at your name, even though you're barely here. That confession was a grenade, silencing the room. Mom, stunned, gripped my hand tighter. Lauren, I love you both, she said, voice shaking. Why would you push me away from your sister? My dad, James, who'd been quiet, finally spoke, hesitant. If what Emily's saying is true, maybe I got it wrong. Not an apology, but for Dad, it was close. I glanced around, catching eyes. Some aunts and uncles awkward, some cousins nodding in support. The truth had cracked the wall of lies. Who's been through a moment where spilling the truth left everyone shook? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause this wasn't just my win. It opened a path to healing our family, but will it be easy? This drama's hotter than a Texas summer day. So, let's see what happens next, /. Alright, y'all, I just spilled the tea on that truth bomb moment at my mom's Seattle birthday party, where Lauren confessed her jealousy and my mom, Susan, stood up for me in front of the whole family. It was a win, but this r/relationships level drama doesn't wrap up like a Hollywood flick. After the party lights dimmed, Mom and I sat down, just the two of us, in a quiet corner of the restaurant. She held my hand, eyes red. Emily, I'm so sorry. I didn't know Lauren was doing that. Her apology soothed a wound I'd carried for years. But then Mom dropped a truth that gripped my heart. She's been battling mild depression and some memory issues. I didn't tell you 'cause Lauren said you were too busy, that it'd stress you out, she admitted. I squeezed her hand, voice firm. Mom, from now on, you talk to me directly. Not through Lauren, not through Dad. Just you and me. She nodded, and I saw a spark of hope in her eyes, like when she made paper hats for me at 7. Weeks later, Mom did something I never expected. She flew 1,200 miles from Portland to San Francisco to visit me. I picked her up at the airport, nervous like it was a first date. I showed her my city, my Bayview apartment, my favorite coffee shop where the barista knows I love caramel lattes, and a hidden garden in the public library. Mom stood there, taking it in. "Emily, you've built a whole world here. I'm so proud." Those words were an invisible hug, erasing years of feeling unseen. I took her to Apex Innovations, where my colleagues praised me in front of her. Mom beamed, eyes shining. "My daughter's a real leader." In that moment, I wasn't just Emily the director. I was Emily, Mom's daughter, truly seen for the first time in years, who's reconnected with a loved one after painful misunderstandings. Drop your story in the comments, 'cause this healing with Mom is just the start. My family still got cracks, and this drama ain't cooling down. It's hotter than a Texas football game. Let's see what happens next, 'cause this story's opening new doors. // alright y'all. I just shared how my mom, Susan, flew from Portland to San Francisco, where we started mending things after years of being torn apart by Lauren's lies. But this family drama, straight outta r/raised by narcissists, didn't just play out in face-to-face showdowns. It spilled onto another battlefield we've all been sucked into: social media. While scrolling Instagram after Mom's birthday party, I realized Lauren's account wasn't just for cute pics. It was a manipulation tool, shaping how the family saw me. Her posts painted a perfect family: Mom beaming next to Lauren, Dad toasting with Noah, everyone gathered at holidays I was never invited to. Me? Not in a single photo. Not once. Seeing those posts felt like I'd been wiped from the family history, like my 34 years were a glitch. I decided to post on my own Instagram, sharing my story from the birthday party. Not to attack, but wrote, "Sometimes family hurts you, but truth can heal." Overnight, the blew up with messages from friends, colleagues, even folks in Texas and beyond. One comment read, "My sister cut me out of our family too. Thanks for your story." Those messages were like virtual hugs, reminding me I wasn't alone. But what shocked me most was Mom's text. "I saw your post. I didn't know Lauren's Instagram hurt you like that. I'm going to talk her." For the first time, Mom saw social media wasn't truth. It was a staged narrative. Who's been stung by family posts on social media? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause that post didn't just reconnect me with Mom, it sparked bigger shifts in our family. This drama's still hotter than an Austin summer, and the story ain't done. Let's keep diving in, 'cause what comes next will glue your eyes to the screen. // alright y'all. I just spilled how social media, especially Lauren's Instagram, made me feel erased from my family until my own post cracked open a door to reconnect with Mom. But this r/true off my chest level drama doesn't stop at emotional moments. After Mom's Seattle birthday party, my family started shifting in small but real ways, like fixing up an old house, slow but steady. My dad, James, who once blocked me at the door with an ice-cold stare, began sending emails. Not long apology letters, but tech articles with notes like, "Hey, thought you'd find this interesting." For Dad, that's his way of saying, "I'm trying." I replied, keeping it light, and slowly, those emails became a bridge, even if it's just a rickety one over a deep canyon. My brother, Noah, stepped up too. He used to reply to my texts with a single yup or a yawning emoji. Now, he sends funny memes, like a dog in a cowboy hat captioned, "Texas vibe." One time, he called, laughing, "Sis, you're like the queen of Apex, huh?" It was the first time Noah acknowledged my work, and I nearly dropped my phone from shock. But the biggest shift came from Lauren. 2 months after the party, she texted, "I was wrong to twist things about you to Mom. I'm in therapy." Not quite an apology, but for Lauren, it's like she climbed Everest. I replied, "Thanks for saying that. Keep at it." Not full reconciliation, but a start. These changes don't make my family an Instagram perfect picture. We're still messy, still bumpy, but now, folks are trying to be real. Who's seen their family shift after a big confrontation? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause these small steps led me to a bigger journey, not just with family, but at work too. This drama's still hotter than a Dallas football game, and what's next will keep your eyes glued. Let's keep diving, 'cause this story's opening new chapters full of surprises. // alright y'all. I just shared how small but meaningful shifts happened in my family after that fiery showdown at Mom's Seattle birthday party, from Dad's emails, Noah's memes, to Lauren's admission. But this the asshole level drama didn't just shake up my family, it transformed how I stand tall in my career. After the party, I returned to San Francisco with a new fire, like spilling the truth in front of 60 guests had unlocked a bolder version of me. At Apex Innovations, where I managed 200 people and a multi-million-dollar budget, I was leading a project to expand into Singapore. Then one morning, the CEO called me into her office. "Emily," she said, "we want you as global vice president. You ready?" I nearly spilled my coffee. Vice president? That's a massive leap. Bigger responsibilities, worldwide travel, and the spotlight right on me. During the interview, the CEO threw a curveball. "Tell us about a time you stood up in a tough situation outside of work." I took a deep breath and shared the birthday party. Not the tear-soaked family drama, but how I faced lies head-on, holding firm to the truth under pressure. I learned courage isn't just making big decisions. It's saying what's right, even if your voice shakes. I said. The CEO nodded. "That's why you're our pick." A week later, I landed the role, with a 30% pay bump and a chance to shape Apex's future. But the drama didn't stop there. Ethan, Lauren's boyfriend and my employee, requested a transfer to product development to avoid conflicts of interest. I approved, keeping it professional, but deep down, I knew he was still that surprise ally from the party. Who's had a personal moment reshape their career? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause this VP role isn't just a step up, it's proof that truth and courage can open doors you never imagined. My family drama's still hotter than a Texas championship game, and this story's heading to a big surprise finale. Let's dive into the last chapter. 'Cause it's building to a memorable close. // Alright y'all, I just shared the career-defining moment when I became vice president at Apex Innovations, fueled by the courage to spill the truth at my mom's Seattle birthday party. But this drama, hotter than an r/AMI the asshole thread topping Reddit, doesn't end with titles or million-dollar deals. It wraps with something deeper, a new promise for my family. 6 months after the party, I decided to host Thanksgiving at my San Francisco apartment, a way to reclaim a holiday that broke us the year before. Mom, Susan, and Dad, James, said yes right away. My brother Noah brought his new girlfriend, both laughing like the distance never existed. Lauren declined, but sent a gift basket with wine and cookies, plus a note. "Hope you'll have fun. Maybe next year." Not an apology, but for Lauren, it's a sign she's trying, one small step at a time. That night, around a table I rented to fit everyone, Mom raised her glass. "Thank you, Emily, for bringing us together. Not just today, but with your courage to speak the truth." Dad nodded, voice thick. "I haven't always been the best father, but I'm proud of you. Not just for your job, but for being you." Those words erased years of feeling invisible. While cleaning up, Noah cracked. "Sis, next time hire a dishwasher, Texas style." The room roared with laughter, and I realized, my family's still messy, but now, we're building on honesty. Who's hosted a gathering to mend family ties? Drop your story in the comments. 'Cause this journey taught me that sometimes, being pushed out shows you where you truly belong. If my story hit you, smash that like button and share your own moment of facing family for the truth. Don't forget to subscribe for more IRL drama like this. My story ends with Mom and me strolling along San Francisco Bay, sunlight glinting like a reminder. Truth is hard, but worth it. This drama may cool, but my journey's still hotter than a Houston summer day. Thanks for riding along, and I want to hear your story in the comments. //